Hello and welcome to my knife channel. Well, it's more than just a knife. It's a machete. Now, I can't zoom in and stuff because we're in the wide angle mode right now. But the specifications on this cold steel jungle machete is 16-inch blade length, overall length of 22 inches, weight of 22.8 ounces, and the thickness is 2.8 millimeter, and the handle is 6 inches. Now, if you want to wait a little bit, I've got a story that involves a knife that just happened. I heard somebody knocking on the apartment next door to me, and I call the people that live next door to me the ghost, because I never see them, I never hear them. I didn't even know if anybody was ever living there. I think I saw the couple that lived there once. And I wasn't even sure that was the couple that lived there because I just saw, one person. I mean, the two people, and then that was when they were moving in, and that was it. But anyways, I heard a knock on that door on the apartment across from me. First it was a light, like 2 or 3 taps, and then they waited for, like 4 or 5 seconds, and then the taps got harder. And then they waited a little bit, and the taps got harder. And so that's when I went to my peephole to see what the hell was going on. And there was a guy standing out there, a white guy, with a ball cap on, pulled down so low on his face that you couldn't see his eyes. And he looked like he was in his 20s. And the cap had something on it, but he finally turned where I could see it. And it looked like it said USMC on it. So he proceeds to call somebody on his phone, and it rings and rings and rings, and no answer, and he doesn't talk through this whole time. He doesn't say anything, and he hangs up, and then he cop knocks on the door. And if you ever heard of a cop knock, you know what it's like. It's not like oh, can I borrow a cup of sugar? It's like, get your attention type of knock. So he does that a few times, and still no one's answering. So then he steps back and he kicks the shit out of the door. 1 foot, like a bam. He does this 2 times. And there's a wreath sitting there on the thing from like Christmas, little Christmas ball wreath and everything. He takes that thing off the door and throws it down and smashes it on the concrete. So, I wait till the guy leaves, and then I go out and I look for the maintenance people in the office, to tell them what happened. And when I'm telling one of the maintenance guys that's sitting there what happened, he goes, did you call the cops? And I'm like, no, man. As soon as this guy did this stuff, kicking the door and everything and throwing the wreath down, he disappeared. I mean, he split pretty fast. Cops wouldn't have done anything, So, anyways, I go back to my apartment, and when he says he's going to tell the other maintenance guy, I go back to my apartment. There's a loud knock on my door. So I didn't grab a knife or anything, but I've got a pistol, and I had that in my back pocket. And I open the door, and it's the other maintenance guy, and he asked me to tell the story, so I told it again. And when I told him about the guy kicking the door, he said, you should call the cops. That's breaking and entering. And I said, look, guys split pretty quick, and I just told you guys. So anyways, the maintenance guy then turns around and knocks on that very apartment door, and guess who opens the door? The guy who was trying to kick the door down. And he says, sorry, my girlfriend locked me out, and I got pissed and everything. And the maintenance guy goes, you can be responsible for any damages you do, kicking the door. And he goes, I didn't kick the door. And I said, yes, you did. I was right here, man. I saw you do it. I live right across from you. And the maintenance guy goes, yeah, if next time something like that happens, if you're on the leash, just come down to the office and we've got a backup key, and we can let you in. You don't have to do that. And I told the guy, sorry, man, I thought somebody was breaking into your apartment. So anyways, this is a long story. So, I go back in my room, and shut my door. And then later on, I hear some more voices outside the door, and it's the maintenance guy trying to change the lock on the apartment. And the other guy's still in there, and he's talking shit. A lot of F-bombs being dropped, and F you, F bitch, and stuff like that. And I guess the other manager of maintenance was there, and he was calling her all this other stuff, and the maintenance guy was trying to do the door, open the, fix the door lock, and the guy punched him in the face, drew some blood. And he was trying to say that he had the drill too close to his eye and was trying to kill him or something. But anyways, so yeah, then the cops got involved. And yeah, now he's spending his time in jail. He's got a place to stay now. But he was trying to give a sob story to the other guy, and he goes, "Man, you messed up. You messed up when you hit my partner there, man." So, anyways, but when he punched the maintenance guy in the mouth, this guy's an older guy than me. He punched him in the mouth. The maintenance guy pulled a knife. He stepped back and he said, "Call the cops." He wasn't talking to me. He was talking to because I wasn't out there. He said, "Call the cops. This guy just punched me in the face. I ain't letting him leave." So there you go. I don't know if that's a defensive use of a knife or an offensive use, but the knife was being used as a threat to keep that guy from going out. So, but when I got this kukri right here, it's a pretty nice machete. I was looking for something that had the kukri shape to it, like this deep belly, and this thing's balanced well enough that it is blade heavy on here, so it really does a good job of chopping. I used it in my fireplace during this last storm when I had bought some fire logs. That's another story. There was a big run on fire logs even before the storm hit. I had happened to got one box of them, but I wound up burning some pieces of pallet that I had stored back here. I was going to make a shelf out of. And I used this to tend the fire. Stick it in there and move it around. It's pretty thick spine here. I was going to compare it to, I have an Ontario machete, a 12-inch machete with a green sheath, and the thing has disappeared. I swear there's things like black holes that just open up and swallow stuff up, because it used to be in I've got a walk-in closet, and there's a shelf up there, and it was always sitting up on the shelf. I remember even during the summertime going back there and looking at it and seeing a nick on the blade and saying, "I should fix that sometime." And I wound up buying another machete instead just to replace it. I thought, even if I fix that, I could probably use another machete. And this one's made in South Africa. You can't really see that. There we go. I got the glare just right. It's made in South Africa. It has a nice handle. It's actually a lot bigger for me than I need, but the way this thing balances, it balances more back here, and you've got room basically where you can move back. There's a lanyard hole that you could put in there, and it comes sharp. I mean, it's sharp. It's not one of those machetes where you're going to have to finish the edge. This thing's got a pretty good grind on it for the most part. I just split some pallet material and stuff like this. This is high carbon steel. I'll have to put the specs up on it. I think it's like 1075 or something like that. And this is a baked on epoxy coat. And so far, I haven't used it a whole lot, but it's pretty good. Also, this little thumb part right here works pretty handy for, doing fine like chopping and stuff. And this part up here is not sharpened, so you're safe, putting your hand anywhere up here if you're doing stuff like that. And overall, I really like it. The sheath is one of these basic nylon sheaths and stuff like that, but it's got rivets along it to protect it, the blade from jumping out at you. And it's a unique kind of a way because of the kukri shape it has right here. It's split down the middle, so to put the thing in, you have to approach from the side and push it down in there a little bit, and then come back here and push it down a little bit further. Then you can lock it here, and you can lock it on the handle. And I've just been wearing it in an apartment a little bit, so it's kind of awkward when you sit down and everything, but it's got a dangler, kind of like a little bit of a dangler sheath on it. It carries all right. I'd take it off if I was, in a base camp or something like that, but for just carrying around or something like that, it's all right. You don't have any other attachment points where you could like attach a tamale, but you could probably build something in, as long as you keep in mind to deploy it. You have to snap this guy, pull this guy out, and then you use kind of a rocking motion. You come back this way a little bit with it while pulling out. It doesn't have one of those warnings like on Bushmaster, say don't put your hand down here, because this open edge is just the spine of the blade, which is not sharpened. It's got a nice 90 degree on it. This is good for a ferro rod if you want to strike that. And I really like it. I really like the shape, everything else. One thing you have to keep in mind if you order it from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, or probably anywhere else, is this is considered an oversized item. So it'll have to go like FedEx, and you'll add like $12 or $13 to the price of the item, when you get it. So if you see it where it's higher than the base price of Smoky Mountain by like $5, but it says free shipping, then you got a good deal. But usually, because it just came in a big, this came in a big box, a cardboard box, and this just had plastic, a fairly thick plastic. It was sitting just like this in the sheath. So yeah, there you go. That's what we've got, a cold steel jungle machete. I haven't used it a whole lot. Like I said, I just used it in the fireplace and stuff like that. Let's read what it says back here. Extra wide blade is black powder coated with a baked on anti-rust coating. Made from heat-treated 1055 high carbon steel. Full tang is completely injection overmolded with fine texture, high impact polypropylene vines or saplings. What is it? Well, polypropylene that will not shrink, warp, tarnish, or rot. Fast and lively in the hand, and wide enough to chop through small vines, saplings, clear brush, and perform many survival or bushcraft duties, including lobbing off your foot if you miss with your swing. Well, that last part's not in there anyway. And let's see what its warranty is. We stand behind our products 100%. We subject them to the highest standards in the industry to make each one perfect as possible. We warrant that this product is free of defects and workmanship material. This warranty does not cover normal wear and tear, damage caused by misuse, lack of normal maintenance, or disassembly. I don't know how you're going to disassemble that one. Remember, anything can break or fail if subjected to sufficient abuse. So please, do not use this product inappropriately. Please use caution when handling cold steel products. Knives are extremely sharp. Yeah, we know. So there you go. There's a little review and story all at once. Not really a bedtime story, kind of a scary story. But the bad guy got locked up, spending time in jail, and nobody got hurt. I didn't have to pull my gun. Nobody really knew what was going on. Things went wild. If that guy tried to pull out a gun and start blasting people, I'd have to get involved. But as long as nobody's getting maimed or killed, then I'm too old to get into fights. I'll play referee. Let the cops handle that. They like that stuff, so they get paid for it. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.